and welcome to another episode of On Transit, the TV show On Transit that takes place on transit. Tonight's episode, we're going to look at the Hiawatha Line Citizen Advisory Council. This is a group of elected officials, neighborhood folks who work together for years on getting information out about the Hiawatha Line, planning for the Hiawatha Line as it went through South Minneapolis. We visited them on their very last meeting. They had pizza, they had a slideshow, they had an update on construction on the Hiawatha Line, so we visited them, did some talking. There's also much more, so stay tuned.
Tonight we are having two meetings, a construction update meeting for information about progress on the Hiawatha Line, and it is followed by the Community Advisory Committee.
I am the staff person for the Hiawatha Light Rail Community Advisory Committee. This is the last meeting of the committee. They've been meeting since July of 1998 and have put in over 9,000 hours of volunteer service for the Hiawatha Light Rail line.
Actually, this group was established by statute along with the Corridor Management Committee. It was created to be the public arm of the whole process and to look at issues that occurred during the construction.
They were supposed to offer advice to elected officials about all the issues that had an impact on livability. And they were supposed to take the lead on citizen participation and provide a forum for citizens to share their concerns and ask their questions. And they were also supposed to recommend how we structure our communications about the project. They have done all of that, and they have shaped the light rail line right from the very beginning, looking at which quadrant of an intersection the station should be located on. They've been involved with station area planning so that the development that accompanies light rail happens by choice rather than by chance.
The positioning of the substations, yes, those were sensitive issues. Where do you put those? What should they look like?
The reason we have unique stations is because of this committee. They said, we don't want cookie cutter stations. We want unique stations that would tell a stranger boarding the train at the airport something about the neighborhood and perhaps make them curious enough that they would get off the train and shop and spend some money and maybe even want to live in that neighborhood. The committee had 40 members, and they included representatives from the 11 neighborhood associations along the line, business owners along the line, transit advocates,
state representatives and senators whose districts touched the line. They were the ones that helped us get the money and all this and that too. Anybody that was going to be impacted by this whatsoever had a voice in it.
This has been a very interesting project to work on.
My first day on the job was when there were people in oak trees protesting the rerouting of Highway 55, and I thought my job is going to be a very difficult one to get those neighborhoods behind light rail.
The first meeting in July of '98 was held at the Hiawatha Park House. It was packed. It was hot. No air conditioning and very few fans.
So they were coming and protesting and saying, why on earth are you building this thing? It's going to be a nightmare. Construction's going to be difficult. No one's going to ever ride it. And we've gone between then to having those same people start to come to the meetings and say, well, how do I ride the train? How often is it going to run? How much is it going to cost?
And I'm proud to say that a lot of the people who were protesting Highway 55 came on board with light rail. And I think it's because we took an approach that said we're not going to do this to people, we're going to do it with people. We're going to let people be involved in shaping the changes that transportation is going to bring to their neighborhood. So I'm proud of that, and I'm proud to say that some of those people who were in the oak trees were serving on this committee. Those folks have helped to design the 50th Street station, the theme of which is oak trees. And I think folks are now starting to realize the environmental benefits of light rail. You know, we've got 6 ozone health alerts in the last year where they cautioned older people, children, and people with breathing problems to stay inside, not exert themselves. We need to look at alternatives to driving alone in your automobile, and this is giving people a phenomenal choice.
we found that a lot of those people have come around, and we've developed a very avid and excited, enthusiastic group of transit supporters who come to our meetings now and are very excited to learn about the latest news of the project. They take this news then out and help us spread safety messages. They help us better inform people about how the signals work, how the trains operate. So this has really been a very productive process to involve the community.
I've lived in this area since 1964, and I was around when the first battles were going on about what was going to happen on Hiawatha Avenue. And as you know, nothing happened for many, many years. And time passed and I wound up on the Met Council. And of course, if you live in a city, I don't know how you could not have transit as an issue. And then when this started happening, I mean, it was right through my district. And the legislation also had the Met Council being the one who oversaw the Community Advisory Committee. And because it was my district, it was a natural for me to be the chair. And I feel very honored and very happy that I had that opportunity, because it was enlightening, interesting, frustrating, maddening, and downright wonderful. It's a celebration of the hard work that all these people, put in all these many months, and our pizza's getting cold.
I think generally I feel there's a lot of excitement. People are really interested. It's been interesting to me to see how the LRT kind of pulls people out into the neighborhood. You see a lot more people out and around. Almost anytime you go by the 38th Street station, there are people walking, to the station, people at the station, people talking to each other. Just has a real friendly kind of urban feel.
For years we've needed an additional leg to our transit system, and so the multimodal link now with light rail provides that. And we need more spurs coming off of it and going to downtown St. Paul and other places. But I think the rail line is doing a phenomenal job in terms of service for people who live both in the community and in the suburbs who come there to ride at the park and ride at Fort Snelling.
The Hiawatha Project Office goes away at the end of December, and that project office is made up of, there are a number of agencies involved. MnDOT has designed and built the system, Met Council owns it, and Met Transit operates it. I'm a consultant working for the project, so I will look for the next project to move towards, and I'm very excited about the future of the Twin Cities. I think that it's really only a matter of time before we start building more rail lines, more transit corridors. So I think there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of promise.
I think we're going to see the same thing that's occurred in other areas, and namely that is people are going to start saying, "Oh, wait a minute. Where's our line? That works so good. When do we get ours?" And that's happened in every city. So it'll happen here too.
We at Metro Transit really appreciate all of the energy and effort on the part of the community. Tonight we're here at the Community Corridor Advisory Committee meeting, and we're kind of sharing the credit and glow of the success of the first month of the Hiawatha Light Rail line. And I think it's important for the community to know that we at Metro Transit and Metro Council truly appreciate the community support and the community reception for the new Hiawatha Light Rail line.
It's just so wonderful to see that people are really, truly enjoying it. It makes all the effort worthwhile. And listening to all the naysayers and sort of like, oh, just never mind. It worked out.
Public transit on public access. That's on transit.